told you that.
It's a known fact.
No. Incorrect. Incorrect. You are absolutely incorrect.
Everybody knows at school.
There's always three sides to a story: his, hers, and the truth. Welcome to He Said, She Said, South Florida Style, starring Amy Schreibman and Mike L. Mudacy.
Typical caveman response.
Logic versus illogic.
Yes, and apparently I am the only one with logic in the room.
My wife tells me that all the time.
Exactly.
Listen to learn more about what he said and about what she said.
How does Noah deal with this?
He deals with it very well because I am in charge,
Understood.
as most women are.
Not in my household.
Oh, please, please stop it now.
No, Abby's in charge
You're damn right she's in charge.
when she's home with the kids.
And maybe, just maybe, you can pick a side. And now, here's Dr. Amy Schreibman and Mike L. Mudacy with our show.
Good evening. You are on He Said, She Said, and I am Dr. Amy Schreibman, at least for the moment.
Dr. Love.
I'm a doctor. My mother and father would be so proud. But anyway, we are He Said, She Said, South Florida Style. 1-888-565-1470. Give us a call, because we don't know really what we're talking about tonight, do we, Mike? This is my
it's all ad-lib.
lovely and handsome, or as my friend would like to say, very handsome blue-eyed fella. Cutie blue-eyed, that's what she calls you.
Obviously, she's a
Michael.
plumber. Her eyesight's not very
Yes,
good because I don't have blue eyes.
Michael L. Mudacy is my co-host. Every week.
The very fortunate
we
Michael
fight-
Mudacy to
we-
be here next
How
to.
much do we fight all week long? I
Yeah.
sent him very, very mean texts.
She sends me very mean texts.
I
It's
do. Not friendly texts either.
always.
No, I yell at you a lot in the text. But Abby's happy about that. I yell at you during the text.
I get enough yelling.
You know what this is? This is the littlest violin in the world.
Oh, God.
Why is that? You all, if it's not that you're sick, you never have a cold. You die.
Don't
and
even,
you're
you know
lying
what?
down.
I'm glad you mentioned the word cold because my wife, listen, you know what really gets me crazy?
Go ahead.
My wife, my wonderful wife, she's probably not listening, but if you are, I love you, honey.
I don't know if you're seeing us, by the way, because we're not seeing
We're having
each other.
technical
So we
difficulties
don't
here
know.
in the office. But anyway, so I left for the Dominican Republic. The day after I left, she had a pretty bad cold. 2 days later, she still had the bad cold. I said, it's time to take some decongestant, maybe get some antibiotics, probably Z-Pack. Yeah,
Prescribing now. There you go.
Yeah,
Hanging
what can I
around
say?
me, you think you made.
I'm in the
There
Dominican
you go.
Republic. You don't need a prescription. Anyway, so she doesn't do it. And then day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, still not better, actually getting worse. She bumps into one of our friends, and he says, you have to get on Z-Pack. Oh, I'm
Not a
going
fan of the Z-Pack myself.
Well, you know what? She's a
I'm
lot
an-
better today after
I'm
day
an
12.
augmentin girl myself, but that's another story for
same
another day.
thing.
No, it's not.
No,
It's not the
I know
same
it's not
thing.
the same thing. Don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Yes, that just proved it. That remark just proved that. There you go. So I want to ask you a question because I was thinking, which I do often.
That's kind of scary.
No, I know. No, it's been a crazy couple of days. Just very bad in some ways. We've had a little illness in the house, a little heartbreak going on. It's bad. It's just bad all the way around. But I was thinking the other day while I was sitting there about men, because I always think about men. But what?
Noah, how do you feel? Noah, call in. Call in.
No,
Your
no.
wife is thinking about men.
No,
Okay.
he's probably eating the barley soup that I made. But I was thinking about I'm going to be married 20 years this year. You're married 18, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
And I think about if I had to date again, I would probably kill myself. What was the weirdest date you've ever had as a dude?
The weirdest date I've ever
well, as a
had.
person, whatever.
I've had a few weird dates.
All right, let's hear.
I think the weirdest date was back in college. I was working at a major retailer. Can't say the name. I don't think on
I don't
the
think
air.
you should.
I don't think I should.
Let's leave
But
that for
let's leave it
everyone's
there. And
imagination.
so I was one of the three
Major retailer in Chicago.
in Chicago that changed its name after another major retailer bought.
We're not going to tell
But we're not going to say what name. And I was one of the 3 or 4 or 5 straight guys working at the retailer.
That's
what they say.
subject to change.
Subject to change. No, it's not going to change. Trust me. I won't change. So anyway, I met this gal and we went out on a date, and it was pretty funny because she was a little top heavy, and we're at. I can't say the word that
She's
that
a
would
little
be
busty.
sexist.
She's
That'd be
busty.
sexist. You
She's
said it. I
busty.
didn't say that. And so we're having dinner.
I'm going to put on my
and-
vagina
and-
suit in 5 minutes. Relax.
Oh no!
She had
oh
boobs.
no!
Like my picture.
Hey! Keep it clean. Keep it clean. It's a family-friendly show.
It is. Vagina is a very normal term. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm having, we're having a conversation, we're having drinks, we're having dinner, and all of a sudden a button goes flying by my ear and hits me in the ear.
Are you serious?
So
What'd she say?
she was embarrassed. I thought it was a compliment. I thought it was good.
June's busting out all over. There you go.
How about you? What was your weirdest date?
There's one date that I can't really say.
Oh, no.
Because it was really, let me just say this. The date ended when I said, excuse me, I have to go to the ladies' room. And then I walked home. Because I it's never
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad. So I just walked the 3 miles. It was 3 miles. And I walked home in the night.
And then you married the guy. No.
No. Honestly, he was a very good boyfriend. No joking around. Like, fun and spontaneous.
You're not talking about the weird guy. You're talking about Noah.
No, I'm talking about Noah.
Thank you.
Not so much.
I want to
a
make
good
sure
husband.
everybody
Not
in
so
the
much a great
listening
husband,
audience.
But no,
Wow.
work gets in the way, and I hate that. He didn't work when I met him. He was still in school, so it was a lot of fun. I was like the entertainment committee. It was a lot of fun. But now, life gets in the way. But weirdest date I ever had. There's too many to tell.
Oh. So you got around.
Yeah, I did get around. I dated a lot of cops. Nurse cop thing. It was fun. That was weird. That is a weird.
So
I
on
went on a
Halloween,
date.
on Halloween,
no,
what are
seriously,
you?
I went on a date with one guy, and he asked me to go out with him through a friend, and then I went on a date with him, and he took me to his apartment like a couple of dates in. And I'm like, okay, so we go to the apartment. So you're figuring you're going to see a typical guy's apartment. And I walked in,
Clean.
and it was, not only was it clean, and I'm like immaculate. He made me look like I was like a homeless woman. And then
Did he have the swan or
he
something?
had
Yeah, the swan.
He had a royal blue leather couch and a gold swan with all the place settings on the dining room table.
That's very
And that was
nice.
like, a little flag went up, and I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here because I was like, I'm going to be somebody's beard. Not into being a beard.
no,
Yeah, it was
no.
really bad. It was really, really bad. And he was a cop, too. So it was odd. It was very odd. But
The best date I ever had was with my wife.
me, too. I had the best date. Tell me about your date with
Well,
Alex.
we met at a friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, a little soiree, and yes, a little soiree, a little cigar action and some wine, and lo and
That's
behold,
why the date was good.
That's why the date was good. It never ended. 18 years later, but anyway, we went out. We saw each other in the kitchen. She was with her 3 girlfriends, and there was 3 guys around. So I'm not gonna hit on this gal who I don't know, who's there in the kitchen with
Do you
3
remember
guys.
what she was wearing?
Not that night. I was looking into her eyes.
Lies. Lie like a guy. But go
Looking
ahead.
into her. Well, so then one of my friend, one of his employees bumped into her because he was a little slightly intoxicated, and he started talking to her. But now this is after she and I were staring at each other for 3 hours. So lo and behold, I jumped in and I pushed that guy aside, and we started talking, and the date ended. Well, the date never really ended, but that's a different story. It's a different program. No, and we ended up going out for a few hours after that, and then we went for chocolate shakes and milkshakes at 5 in the morning, and I walked her home.
Aw, did you stay?
I'm not going to say that on the air.
You're not kissing and telling?
Yeah.
I like that. You stayed. Okay.
Well, I didn't say that.
He
I
didn't
didn't
say
say
anything.
it. I was shaking my head.
Okay,
You don't know which
okay.
way I'm shaking my head.
No, I will tell you that I think that's a neat story. I, on the other hand, was not very nice to Noah. I actually had come out of a relationship 5 years before and was not really. I kind of felt
weren't
like
looking for the
No, I
relationship.
wasn't even looking. I was like 32, and I decided that the cards of love were not in my favor. So I was just going to be a career girl, and I was fine with that. I never wanted, I wasn't looking. And they used to say, oh, when you least expect it, that's when you're going to meet somebody. And I used to say, when you least expect it, you get hit by a car. So I met.
So Noah was in a truck.
Yeah, no. Actually, it's so funny because 2 years prior to this, I had seen this kid, medical student, with a girl on crutches crossing the street in the complex where I worked. There is a medical school. And I almost ran these 2 over because I was going fast and I was going to my other job. And
So you're a Boca driver.
no, but it was in the Bronx. And I said to the guy, oh, I'm so sorry, little medical student. And I kept going. It was Noah.
Oh, wow. Little
So
medical
2
students.
years, yeah, he's cute. I was like, oh, that's a shame. So 2 years later, we met. He was doing a rotation through my unit. And I had just come back from, ironically, Florida, Miami, for 2 weeks with a friend. And I looked at him and I asked him who he was. And he's like, I'm a medical student. I said, and your mother raised you poorly, because he laughed at me when I asked him that. To make a very long story short, he finally asked me, after 13 times, he asked me to go out with him. I finally was like, yeah, fine, I'll go out with you.
He asked you out 13 times?
And I told him he could write my name on the boys' bathroom, because he's going out with the head nurse and all this stuff. So we went on our date, and we went to he picked me up at my house. We went to Chinese food, because he was a poor medical student. I didn't want him to spend a lot of money. And he did
so
pay.
you're definitely expecting him to pay.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
You asked me, you're paying.
Okay.
But really cool.
Is that fair? Anybody listening out there? Anybody? Is that fair?
Opened the car door for me. We talked all night till 11:30 at night. Walked me to my door. Asked me
To go
if he
inside?
could kiss me goodnight. No. Asked me if he could see me again. Asked me if he could kiss me again.
Oh, so he kissed you?
He kissed
You
me
allowed him?
Twice.
Wow.
Twice. And then that was it. And then he had to go home.
Okay,
That was
question.
cool.
Do you still kiss?
Yes. Not as often as we should.
Okay.
Not
Is
as
that
often
normal?
as we should. I don't know.
As a Puma, is that
It's-
normal?
No, for me, it's not. No, I get very annoyed with the whole situation. It's very annoying.
What's annoying?
I think that it should be like you were still dating. Yeah. I think that's how I know kids get in the way and life gets in the way, but if you let that get in the way, that's not good for the relationship, and then you get really pissy.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like that. I think that it's really hard, and I think that a lot of people suffer from that, but you got to keep it fresh.
You have to. The kids are, we've talked about this off
I
the
never
record.
wanted kids.
Really?
I never did, and I have two.
David, Joseph, I love you.
No, I didn't. I never wanted kids. And then when I was married with Noah, and then after 3 years, I'm like, look, dude, I said, I love you. I would love to have a baby with you. I said, and I'm 38, so we got to hurry. So we had the first one, and then the second one, I was like, there was no discussion. We were one and done. And
then
there you
surprise,
go.
surprise.
And both at the Boca Raton Resort, might I add. They were both created there.
Wow. You could have called them Boca Resort.
I know, right? But I'm just saying, I think it's with kids, you have three. So
I do. I do have three. Three
it's
boys.
Very hard, and three. I have two boys, and it's hard. It's hard to. And when I think, as a woman, sometimes you prioritize your kids before your husband. Bad move, ladies. I'm just letting you know.
Abby,
I
are you
made
listening,
a mistake.
Abby?
No, I
Abby?
did.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I just was speaking to. I think that you have to put your husband first. I don't know who I was speaking to, and I think they're right. I wasn't raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's hard. But I will tell you this. I think that it's both responsibility to keep it fresh.
You have to put an effort into your marriage.
Yeah.
And it's hard because when the kids are there and everything's focused around the kids, whether it's paying for their school, paying for their class trips, paying for their books, paying for everything goes along with the
Moral
kids.
of the story: don't have kids. No, I'm
No.
only kidding. No, I think you're right. I think
It's
that
hard.
you have to, but you have to carve out that time.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are young and want to get married, come spend a day at my house. And all you do is you're going to hear
Don't
yelling.
come spend a day at my house.
Yeah.
No. But we got a dog.
I know. How is Charlie?
Charlie is doing wonderful.
Charlie.
The dog's exhausted. The
Well,
dog
that's-
needs to
that's
retire,
all.
and she's only 6 months. She's a 6-month puppy, and she's exhausted.
I like the name. I would name if I had a girl, I would name her Charlie.
Charlie?
I think she's
Charlie.
very cute. Charlie. I think it's very cute. But I wanted to ask you now, how are the kids assimilating to Charlie? Loving?
The kids love Charlie. They I don't know who's wearing out who the most, but Charlie is enjoying it a lot, and the boys are too.
All right, I like that. So what are you doing for Super Bowl? Super Bowl's coming.
Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, hold that thought because we got to go on a break. But we'll be back. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl.
Who's going to win?
Well, I'm praying for the injuries. I'm just saying we'll talk about
Injuries?
that when we come back. Yeah,
Okay.
Tom Brady needs to be injured. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Oh, geez.
1-888-565-1470. Call us and let us know who you're picking for your Super Bowl pick.
Walsh Trading Inc. is located in the historic Chicago Financial District. Walsh specializes in building long-term relationships that assist you in your asset management needs. Given the long-standing bull market in equities, now may be an excellent time to look for uncorrelated opportunities in the futures markets. Let Walsh Trading offer you a free, no-obligation assessment that may prove fruitful in 2017. Walsh would remind our listeners that investments in futures contracts bear the risk of loss and may not be suitable for all investors. Be sure to review your financial situation before investing with Walsh Trading Inc. Info@walshtrading.com. Call 1-800-993-5455 849. Let's face it, it's all about perspective. Is there really any difference between a man and a woman's take on things? Let's rejoin Amy and Mike on He Said, She Said, South Florida style to find out.
Hey, we're back. We're back. So, you have to answer the question, who's going to win? And why were you talking about Tom Brady?
I don't care for him.
Why?
I gotta be honest with you, because he cheated. I don't care for that.
We're going to start the Brad Pitt thing again,
No,
huh?
I don't care for that. I don't care for the fact that girl, Bridget Monahan, was pregnant with his son, and he left her pregnant and went off with the supermodel. But let me tell you something. First of all, I don't even think he's that good looking or that talented. He's the cheater. That's why he's always won. I don't want to hear it. I'm praying for injuries.
Well,
my Eagles. I miss my Eagles.
I think we have John Walsh from Walsh Trading
John.
on. John, are you there?
I am, Mike. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you
Hello,
loud
my
and clear
darling
in
John.
South
How
Florida.
are you?
Hello.
John, tell us about the markets. What's been happening? How is the Trump effect affecting your commodities?
That's a whole other story.
Well, I would say the commodity markets are a little bit outside of anything that's happening relative to President Trump taking office right now. I mean, things are kind of on a path with respect to the agricultural markets. But I will say there's some things that people should be watching, and I think are key. I think the dollar is an important aspect of the market here. So the dollar and the euro traded at parity, as you know, Mike, just before the end of the year.
Right.
And now the dollar is backed up a little bit, and the euro's rallied. But I think ultimately the dollar into the new year will invert over the euro currency. And, that has a ramification on exports, but also from a broader scope, does have an effect on the market. I also want to say that a lot of people just keep predicting that the stock market's going to have a massive correction, and I really think it's a little premature for that, given what Trump's doing. We haven't seen any repatriation of funds yet.
It seems like there's a lot of cross currents in the markets right now. I was looking at the market today. It was up and down. It was actually down significantly early, and yada yada yada. It's the politics. Our last week's show, I was talking about some of the politics and the wonderful media, and no defense of the president, but when the media is hammering all everything and anything, and they don't provide a fair shake either. And that goes for not just for President Trump, for same thing with President Obama and President Clinton. But it's there's definitely a vendetta out there. There's a war between the media and this administration. So unfortunately, the media will probably win because they have the airwaves, but we're not the press. But John, tell us more about what you guys are doing in terms of the markets and what your brokers are suggesting and that type of thing.
Well, there's all different types of opportunities. Everything has its risk as well, but the opportunities, there's CTAs, they look at all the different markets. And one thing that I will say, given what's going on, and you just touched on it, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of strife, that creates volatility. So volatility creates opportunities. You just have to be able to quantify your risk and be with someone who has a long-term record. I do want to say, though, aside from the market, like you said, something important. And I don't remember this as a kid. I know the media probably has always had a little bit more of a liberal bias, but it just seems today that there's no middle ground. Obama, whether or not I'm a fan of Obama or Trump, it doesn't seem that people find any middle ground anymore, and I think that's kind of a shame.
Well, you mentioned a very
all the time.
Yeah, you mentioned a very, very important point. I mentioned this on. I got some shout outs on my Facebook page from some very from good friends, and they were on both sides of the aisle. And I said, the media today is not the media of the 60s and 70s. Back. I remember growing up, watching the news, and
the people of the 60s.
Well, no, but John, it was different. 95% of the news wasn't op-eds, and today it's all op-eds, and most of the public unfortunately doesn't realize this is an opinion piece. This isn't actually covering news, and so things get slanted. And again, I'm not saying just right now today. I'm saying in the last 15, 16, 20 years, but it's getting significantly worse as time progresses, and so bringing that into the markets. I think the volatility potential seems to be elevated, and I'm no broker, so don't listen to me. But that's how it appears from my
Oh,
analysis.
yeah, no, I mean, you're right. There is a lot of volatility in the market, and given the global, global scope of what's going on and all the uncertainty in the world, there's going to continue to be that, and so that does create opportunity, but it also creates a lot of risk. So you have to be able to quantify that risk and understand what you're doing. The show isn't long enough to talk about all those nuances, but I do want to say that I think that people have been predicting the demise of the stock market for quite some time now, and while I do think that a correction would be a healthy aspect to the market, I think that I think Trump is one thing he's done that is positive. He's following through with all his promises, and I think people
Right. Whether you like him or not, that's what he said. John,
absolutely.
How do people contact you? Please give us your contact information.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I appreciate that. 800-993-5449. That's a direct line. I'll be happy to talk to anybody about anything any questions they might have. And info@wallstrading.com would be a general email that we can talk to anybody. And no obligations. If somebody wants to talk about something or look at adding some managed futures to their portfolio, we'd be happy to talk to them. So I appreciate that.
Thank you,
That's
John.
great, John. That's great. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk to you soon, John. Take care.
So
I
back
wanna
to
say-
your
I have to-
Tom
let me
Brady.
just, I have to make one quick shout out,
Yeah.
and then we'll go back to Tom Brady.
I have a couple shout outs.
My friend Nick Sandow, who is on The Orange is the New Black, he won a SAG award last night. We
Really?
grew up together on Garfield Street in the Bronx. So, Nick, congratulations. We're very proud of you.
We have to have him on the show.
Hey, I know a lot of people.
I like it. I like
J-Lo
it.
and I went to the same high school.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Same class?
No, no. I was already graduated.
You already
sometime.
graduated?
Yeah,
You were
my
teaching
sister
her?
and she were. My sister was a senior when she was a freshman.
Your sister. You bring up your sister.
She's
Tell her-
awesome. She needs to come on the show.
We have to have her on the show.
We
for
will.
for everybody out there.
She's even more fabulous than me.
Well, I don't know her. I've only read some of her things, and she is a bestseller.
Yeah, she's the best. Rosemary was shouting you out. You have to watch this. Rosemary Terenzio is my sister. She is an author. She had a New York Times bestseller list book called Fairy Tale Interrupted. I'm in the book too. She's an awesome person. She gets her awesomeness from her older sister.
Yeah, she learned from her
She
Puma
did.
sister.
She did from the Pumalicious one herself.
And
But
what was the
anyway,
book about?
It was about her. My sister was JFK Jr.'s personal assistant, publicist, and it was about how her life evolved from him, how she got her job, knowing no one, went to a regular college, and just worked her way up and wound up discussing her relationship with him and the unfortunate end of the relationship as well due to his accident.
Right.
But pretty exciting stuff. Pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
So we're doing a shout out to you.
Ro, shouting out to your mama.
We want some commission on the book sales.
Yes, okay, there you go. There's a method to our madness.
Yes.
But no, so getting back to Tom Brady, yeah, I don't care for that. Cheetah.
Yeah,
Cheetah
I'm not a big fan.
He cheats on the girl. He cheats in the game. How can you root for
The
that?
team is phenomenal. I'm not a big football guy, but the team is.
The coach cheats too.
Yeah,
What do
the
you
whole-
think?
the whole
Let me tell you
team, the
something. When
whole
they went to
thing.
the Super Bowl, see, the chick knows her football. When they went to Super Bowl and the Eagles and the Patriots were at the Super Bowl,
Right.
Donovan threw up in the last couple of seconds. I was very sad about that. But the reason why they won is because they cheated. It was in the press. They cheated. They went to the Eagles practice and they cheated. So they took away that Super Bowl from the Eagles simply because they cheated.
And you're,
Otherwise, the
just
Eagles
a
would have won.
little clarification. You are an Eagles fan, right?
I am very much an Eagles fan. I bleed green. I bleed red for my Phillies. I'm sorry, and
See,
orange
I-
for my Flyers.
I'm from Chicago. We don't have actually an NFL team. We have like a college team.
Wait, aren't you the guys that
the,
throw
the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Don't they throw the octopus where you are on the ice?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
I don't know if it's you guys. Please call us and let us know if I'm incorrect. But I think somebody throws. I think it's the Blackhawks. They
Actually,
throw
a shout out to my mother who's Canadian, and my uncle who is Canadian is a big hockey fan,
I love
and my
hockey.
father too. They're all listening in tonight, and two buddies of mine in the Dominican Republic. They are. We got a call.
We got a call. Oh, it's Detroit. Sorry, thank you.
Detroit. Oh no.
Detroit throws the
Detroit,
octopus
yeah.
on. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ken. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Ken.
I will tell you what, Ken is awesome. Ken is warming up to me. I love Ken. Didn't like me in the beginning, but I think I'm growing on him. Because we talked about things that he didn't feel comfortable about. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm a sport chick. I like sports. I think that's important.
How about Noah? Does he like?
Oh my God, Noah. I think he would marry a football player before me. No, Noah. It's funny because Noah met Bobby Clark with me in Connecticut. We used to do a lot of road trips and go to hockey games. And I just went up to Bobby Clark. I said, listen, I said, we're engaged. I said, but he would give me up in a second to marry you. The guy got hysterical laughing. But yeah, Noah's that was part of the whole thing. The whole
Part of the whole.
No,
like you had
but
to,
I think
you had to
it's
accept it as a
important.
contract.
I'd rather do the sports with him than have him go out and be in a bar, right? So we do it together. It's
That's
so much fun.
nice.
It is true. We
That's
do it together.
nice.
I'm terrible. I'm like an animal when I watch the sports. It's terrible. I'm worse than any
Puma,
dude.
no pun intended.
It's the truth. I'm worse than any dude. And foul mouth. Like, gee, that's a surprise. But very foul mouth.
But,
I can't even watch.
I wouldn't have to. I was at my kid's school game today, and I was getting a little intense. Yeah, parents are crazy, but I
Don't
was
be
a
a
crazy.
crazy parent.
Today I was a little. It was a little crazy. You go to a game and these refs are it's a little nuts.
Can I tell you what I do when
What do you
David
do?
plays baseball? I'm like, hi, Blue. Need any water? I try to make them like my kid, like my kid's
You give
team.
me your card?
I don't do that yet.
Give me a call.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm
10th
like,
inning.
do you
Give me
need
a
any
call.
water? I'm a nurse if you need anything. I'm like hoping that they're like side with on my kid's team. It's terrible what mothers do.
That's.
It's terrible. No, it
And
doesn't
you're talking smack about Brad Pitt and Tom Brady.
work.
Come
Doesn't
on.
work, but it doesn't work.
But you want it to
No.
work.
No, I don't really want it to. I just try to be nice. I'm not alone. Sarah helps me. Sarah, let's tell the truth. We're nurses. We kind of like use that a lot. We're nurses. If you need anything, it doesn't really go very far. But you do what you can for your kids.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
You do what you can.
Like Forrest Gump when the mother slept with the principal. Not that I sleep with the
Oh, wait a
principal.
minute. Now, this
She's
is a
girl.
whole different thing.
No, but I'm
Wait,
just
so
saying.
you're sleeping with the principal?
No, she's a woman. Don't
She's
say
a-
that.
oh my
That's terrible.
God.
She's a
That's-
lovely woman. She
oh.
doesn't sleep with the girls. She's married. And
Please.
neither do
How
I.
do you know?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's her own business.
Oh my
anyway,
God, my kids are going to get thrown out of school. No, but
our kids
no,
at
I
the
think-
same school.
I think, as a parent, don't you think that you stretch yourself to be over nice for your kids' school?
Most definitely. You have to. Is that our music?
That's
Is that our
music.
time's up?
That means our time's up.
Ken is waving at us.
Is our time up? How much more we have? We're up?
Yeah.
We have nothing. Okay, well, there you go. I want to thank you guys for joining us on He Said, She Said on behalf of Mike and myself. We hope that you come back next week and give us a call, 1-888-565-1470. You can get us on Facebook at He Said, She Said South Florida Style or her website.
Well, send us any questions you
Any
have and you
question,
want
anything you
us
wanna
topics
talk
you want
about.
to. Yeah, exactly.
Put it on our page. We read it all the time. I'm the Facebook guru. But thank you guys for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great week.
You've been listening to and watching He Said, She Said South Florida Style. Join us every Monday at 6:30 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and 95.3 FM. Or watch live on Facebook, Periscope, or AMP2 TV to talk about hot topics and what makes opposites attract.